Welcome to another Demarcation Media Blokees review. Today we finally have the Transformers 1 Classic Class Battle Mode Sentinel Prime. Although they just call him Sentinel Prime, they don't call him Battle Mode, but he is in his Battle Mode. He's got all the extra stuff to make him into Battle Mode, and this guy has been eliciting a lot of anticipation and hype, so we are going to go ahead and take a look at him today. Let's get a look at this box. As always, we have very metallic, looks fantastic. Around the side, we get to see all of his accessories and him posed up. Around the back, we get to see a little blurb about him, and it doesn't quite say he's a savior of Cybertron, but his key traits, charismatic and valiant, so I guess that's close enough. And then we got to see the runners around this side. Autobot symbol, which is interesting because I don't think the Autobots were technically created till after Prime became Prime, but that's pretty cool. Look, his eyes can glow. So yeah, awesome box as usual. I built this guy live along with Elita 1, so if you want to see that, I'll put the card up in the corner. Let's go grab the figure. And there he is. So the first thing that you kind of notice about this guy when you first put him together is that he is big. Here is Optimus next to him for a size comparison. Sentinel is wider, he's a little bit taller. He has just more bulk to him, which let me grab. This is the Galaxy version of Sentinel, and you can see the height difference is quite significant, although I have heard that these heads are kind of interchangeable, although I did that with the Optimus back when I was reviewing Optimus, and it kind of started forming some cracks in the ball joint of the Classic Class figure, so I don't know if I recommend that, but there we go. There is Megatron. Megatron is even still small compared to how massive Sentinel is, so that's pretty cool. So for a few quick standardized scale comparisons, there's a Lego minifigure, there is a Mega figure, here is a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. You can see Sentinel's pretty big. He's not too much shorter than Mando. And then just for the heck of it, I wanted to drop in Bayverse Optimus because he's my favorite of the Blokees. And I also wanted to drop in a Marvel figure from Blokees just so you guys can kind of see the comparisons there. So yeah, Sentinel has got some bulk. All right, so let's talk details. For the most part, he has fantastic color separation. I think my main complaints come from the head because he's got the gold on those cheek bits, but they just sprayed it, and because of the way that the little side cheek sections stick out, the gold didn't actually get everywhere it was supposed to be, and so it looks a bit, ugh. That probably is the worst printing I've seen from Blokees. Typically they're pretty good, but yeah, the way they have it in the machine just didn't work. There's some print on the chest. The gold for the arms is color separated. The blue has a really nice finish. We got some print here and here. That piece is a color separated piece. There's this little piece here. Around the back, nice color separation. Look at that. Look at that. Even that blue on the front's color separated. The knees are color separated. So yeah, looks-wise, he's pretty darn good. Now, the main complaint I've heard from people in terms of the looks is that you don't get any sort of alternate parts to make his chest a normal, not battle mode Sentinel. So he's pretty much locked into battle mode. This is the most normal way that you can have him be. But yeah, his chest is still all transformed to be big and bulky. That's just how it is. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty awesome. The gold, for the most part, I think is fairly even in color. Like I don't see any huge discrepancies. It's just the head that has the most, like, what the heck is going on with that. And then also the seam tends to separate a little bit, so you can just kind of see more of the gold underneath, and that doesn't look the greatest. The rest of him does look amazing though. Now we need to talk articulation because there's a lot going on here and it's a little bit more fiddly than what we've seen in the past. So the head has pretty much zero downward movement. We get upward, and then side to side is a little bit limited because you have to have him look up to turn to the side because his chin hits the little vent things on either side. So head is pretty limited. You have the shoulder joint here, but then you also have a secondary joint within the shoulder, so you can get actually pretty far out in terms of movement. It does start to look a little bit weird because now you've got this big armpit gap, but you're not really lacking too much there. Arm bend is less than 90 due to Sentinel's design here. I think, I don't really know how they would have gotten around that, to be completely honest. Swivel at the waist, and then we have the wings can move, they can tilt around, and they can move up and down. They are a little on the loose side, so be aware of that. And then also the hips are a bit on the loose side, which is not what I want to see when the top is so big and chunky, but you can get very nice forward motion, not limited at all like Optimus is, and then also very, very nice backward movement. That's pretty good. I don't think I could ask for any more. And then in terms of a knee bend, it's also about 90, so that's pretty good. And then backwards for the foot is about that much. Forward is pretty limited, and then side to side is not bad. He does have fairly thin feet, so that will make getting him to stand up maybe slightly more difficult, but I don't think it'll be that bad. As I say that, he's wanting to fall forward. Oh yeah, and then he's got just a standard ball joint, which I'm glad this is a standard ball joint. It's not Blokees C-shaped ball joint, so it stays in there pretty well and not bad. Like I think overall he poses better than I was expecting him to, being so chunky. I think that the loose hips though is a pretty frustrating thing to have to deal with. And now we need to talk about accessories, because this guy has the most accessories out of any classic class figure that I have looked at so far. I think even beating Nemesis Prime. He had a lot, but I'm pretty sure Sentinel beats him out. So firstly, we have the stand that we've gotten with all the other figures. This one comes with yellow little effect pieces, which is awesome. You've gotten them in red and blue with Optimus and Megatron, and now yellow with Sentinel. So, the rest of the parts. We've got his Thanos sword, which is actually done really nicely. It's all one piece, and it's got some nice paintwork. To use that, you get these Lego clip-looking hands, and those simply just clip on, and you gotta snap it in place. Not bad, holds it pretty well. I am digging that. You get one for each side. And then you get a mask, a battle mask, which we will go through putting all of this on in a second because it's a bit of a process. We've got his thruster feet. We've got these little gun thingamajiggies that go on his shoulders. We've got his launchers that go on his legs. And then we have a big shield with a little gun mounted on top, which I love this piece, by the way. This is a great piece. Got a ton of molded detail, and it's this really cool translucent, like, pink color. So let me grab Sentinel, and we're going to do a quick little tutorial on how to actually put all of this on. We'll go ahead and put the battle mask on first, and to do that, you've got to remove his chin. Chinless Sentinel is weird. You're going to be left with this very, very small piece, so please find a safe spot to put that because you can lose that so easily. I kind of wish they had done this a little bit differently, but hey, you know, this is what they chose to do. And then you peg the mask on. Now he's got his battle mask. I don't think that actually changes his head articulation at all. It just is the same as it was. You can accidentally start popping it off if you're not careful, so just be a little careful while you're doing that. The shoulder bits are simple. They just peg on there like that. You want to put the little A-looking thing on the outside. To put the launchers on the legs, you need to pull off this gold tab or armor plate. You're going to see a T-shaped connector, and then what's going to happen is, nope, I need the other one. This is also going to use that same T-shaped connector. It's a bit stiff, so getting it on and off is a bit hard. But then there's going to be a leftover peg here that we can use to get that on. So now he's got his launcher on one leg. We just do the same for the other side. Pretty simple. Not too bad. Now we are adding extra bulk to the legs, which means the loose hips is going to become even more of a problem. The feet are simple. You just yoink it off. I've had difficulty popping stuff on and off these ball joints for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, is that it? Is that actually in there? That's interesting because you actually get some articulation there. But that just uses the same little ball socket as the feet. And then the arm is the slightly complicated part. So you need to pull off both of these blue plates here. And then you need to pop his hand off and then move both of these forward. This is going to create his little shooty hand like that. And then this will then peg into the forearm right past it. So now he is in full battle mode. Here, let me also give him his sword. You can turn this hand also into a gun if you would like to. I feel like he's got enough guns right now, so he needs a hand to hold his sword. And there we go. He is in full battle mode. And there you have it. That is the Classic Class Sentinel Prime. He doesn't come with any sort of flight stand, which I think is a big miss. I think what would have made this figure really just pure epic is if they had included a flight stand and then some pink blast effects for the feet. Because the box shows the pink, and I think it looks great to have the pink on the arm and the pink on the feet, but they didn't do that. However, you can attach the rockets to the studs. The ends of the rockets are the same size as the studs, which I think was a great move on Blokees' part. So you can at least have him stuck to his stand. I think my main complaints are the paintwork for the head and how loose some of the joints are. Other than that, looks-wise, holy crap, this guy is so much better than any of the other Sentinel figures I've seen out there. He truly looks terrifying when you've got that mask on and all these pieces equipped. It's really good. I'm pretty impressed with the articulation too. I was expecting the arms to be pretty limited, but the legs are a lot more movable than I was expecting them to be. Accessory-wise, this is the most accessories we've gotten, like I said, with I think any of the Classic Class figures, so that's a huge bonus. I highly recommend you store them in a little Ziploc baggie like this, because then you won't lose that chin. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. I don't think he's my favorite of the Transformers 1 Classic Class figures, but the fit and finish of him as a whole is very impressive. Obviously, you could have Megatron ripping him in half because the Blokees come apart that way. There is, of course, the light up feature. His eyes light up. That's all that you can see light up. But yeah, in my bright studio, as usual, it's hard to see. I think, again, Blokees has nailed it. That paint on the face just needed a little bit extra work. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And if you want to chat with other Blokees fans, I will have a link to the Blokees Discord down in the pinned comment. Hope to see you over there, and I will see you guys next time.